Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly shop steward today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's outstanding fantasy RPG Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Playing in our custom setting of the Spires of Paridar. This is a Dickensian occult conspiracy setting with a Victorian vibe and a Coalpunk aesthetic to it. And with me tonight to indulge in our current ongoing mystery, which is Ill Tidings at the Poverty Pond, are the stars of the Spires of Paridar campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who are you playing today? First up, we've got Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Golag, son of Doc. I am a orc witch who is a detective and I guess founder of the Shadow of Illuminations.
Nice. Yeah, it's hard not to hear it as orc witch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's man. Very delicious. Yeah,
yeah, it's delicious. Very satisfying, filling stuff. Next up is James.
James, and I'm playing Sally Dumer and Azar Katie, monk detective, uncovering all of the fishy stories in Paradar.
Thanks. And next up is Ingolf.
Yeah, I'm playing. I'm playing Ingolf. I really am Ingolf, and I'm playing Basil Rathbone. Sometimes I'm playing Ingolf as well, but that's not. Yeah. So and Basil is an Izuki detective, and he wants to find out what's going on with this pond and where we are heading with this weird stuff.
Nice. And last but certainly not least is Darren.
Darren here. I'm playing Dr. Adam Ersprung, who's a flesh warp inventor, level 3, and he's always got his trusty sidekick, Igor.
Very nice. And Darren currently holds the reigning title of World's Best Uncle, having just returned from a rousing performance of Mamma Mia with his niece. So nice. I was going to try and incorporate as many ABBA songs into today's session, but I was a little overtired. So never let it be don't try to at least think about putting the extra effort in if I don't. So guys, we are a couple of chapters in now to our current mystery. So where do we find our heroes or our illuminators at the start of the session?
Let's see here.
We returned back to headquarters, hadn't we? Mm-hmm. We were debating whether to stay overnight at the park at the last session, right. But we put a late order in for some cold iron weapons and decided to wait till we'd resource those. So I think that had been delayed one night. I know Golag, Sally and Stitches went to see the Professor Gallberry at the university to discuss the talk of the Kelpie that could be responsible at the pond for devouring some of the missing people, we believe, and the possibility of maybe some sort of magical portal with the statue that we were investigating. What else? There was a strange message at the end of the session for Sally with Daphne left a strange message about someone wanting to speak to her who was traveling back to her homeland or something.
It was Mrs. Hunter, actually.
Oh, it was Mrs. Hunter.
The wife of Captain Hunter.
Yeah.
Who is still missing.
And then the only other sort of quick note I made was I think Golag was going to do some sort of magic on the bike to try and detect some more or get some more information from the bike found from the missing children.
Right. Yeah, probably on just on that same spell, perhaps on the ship. Although I mean, we're at the park, so the bike is more topical, more immediate. But to possibly on both threads, maybe use standby object reading on the bike, and then.
I like your reading of it better. Object reading. No.
Object.
He's walk through a library knocking books out of people's hands.
I can see Golag making some objections. It's that kind of a object reading on the bikes, yeah, and then maybe the ship subsequently.
Okay.
I guess the only other thing was Stitches, who I'm sure will be with us shortly, made some new enemies of an owl and a raven.
Yes.
Up in the trees. He sort of scared them off.
Yeah. He attacked them.
Yeah, basically, with some sort of magic. And that didn't go down too well.
Okay. I am just grabbing. Anything else happened last time that we have not summarized thus far?
I mean, a lot of it was in the park. We might have missed something from the park, but that was about, I think, that's pretty good.
We did a lot of sort of investigating around the pond. We found you know, some remains, like a arm bone or a leg bone.
Yeah.
Bits to confirm our Kelpie sort of ideas.
Yeah, we had a lot of chatter about that, so there might have been something that popped up that we're not mentioning, but because we had a lot of dialogue about Clue, trying to connect dots.
Yeah. All right. So then, guys, unless there's anything that happened that night, I think what we can assume is that you guys all got a solid night's sleep, and morning will come the next. So we will be seeing everyone collecting around the breakfast table once again. Dr. Ersprung, you're still waiting for alternate living arrangements to be arranged, so you are staying at actually, I guess I'm going to move us over there.
I did want to just say I wanted to put a note or something, where the ruins of the old surgery were, to sort of say, working on it, we'll post a new address soon, just so anyone that was looking for help desperately has got some hope that, soon there'll be something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would also remind Adam that he should meet with Annabelle Carrington to organize this kind of money collection fundraiser to rebuild his.
Yeah, I should try and do that as well. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Sally could join you on that.
She definitely has growing popularity once again. The novelty is back now that you're a mystery-solving detective. So, who is it Golag who is first up once again?
Let's see. And where are we?
I was going to set the first scene around the breakfast table for you guys to plan your day. But if you prefer, if anyone's heading out early to go do something else, I'm happy to, we'll set our scenes around that.
Yeah, no, breakfast is fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I think the way that it typically went was either Golag or Dr. Ersprung were the first up, followed by Sally and I think Basil, and then Sally finally. Does that sound right?
And we took the bikes, right? We obviously
bike, only one.
Bike?
Yep.
We brought that with us, I assume.
You did, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I'm assuming you have spent your time this morning already. Anyone who, actually you go, I guess, to prepare spells. So you can feel free to prepare what spells you like, whispering to the shadows. Yep.
Probably, and casting mage armor would be my practice, which is a day spell, basically.
Okay. Okay. So what does your mage armor look like? Have we? I know it doesn't manifest all the time, but when the spell is cast, I imagine there's some kind of
I think it's a shadowy shimmer that it makes him a little bit less distinct, So it's kind of almost that like if you like in heat or in the desert where you get that shimmer off things, that kind of except this is dark, a little like a shadow, like as in a shadow.
Perfect. Sounds great. Yeah. All right. So you are all around the breakfast table now. What is the plan for the day?
Well, like Basil reminded Adam, he would like to meet with Annabelle. And if Sally's available to join him, then That would certainly help, I think.
Sally will join.
Okay.
Obviously, we're going to collect the cold iron weapons as soon as we can as well.
Okay.
I don't know when they'll be available.
I think Golag's going to have a bit of a sit with that bike.
Okay.
See what the shadows have to say about it.
I think we have our first toast to Mo. So.
Yeah, that's Now I wanted to drink something. Yeah. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you now, Golak or Sean?
No.
Did you want to say?
I'm good. I was just going to hang with the bike.
Yeah.
I was going to take a look. That's it.
Yeah. So I would like to find out something or see more connections. What I can find out about this brother Nolan Loeb, what he is up to, and he was somehow connected everywhere in the city, and maybe we can find out who gives him money or something like that.
Okay.
Because it seems so strange that he would be all on by himself and then has this influence. Doesn't seem like there has to be a story behind that.
Okay. And what do you know thus far about Brother Loeb?
So, we heard about him, and he was mentioned. He was really well connected, and he has some kind of religious thing where he accuses people of blasphemy. He was Annabelle Carrington told me he might be connected to these fires, but it was not really clear. And what we know also is that the Paradigm Detective Agency had an investigation on him and decided to let it pass and delete all the evidence they had collected so far.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. And maybe I have to get hold of a certain network to get more information, but that would be a matter to be seen, let me put it this way.
Okay. All right. So then, who would like to start? We got three things going on today, it sounds like. There is object reading of the bike. There is the meeting with Mrs. Carrington, or Ms. Carrington, and there is the legwork that Basil's going to be doing to try and find information about this rogue preacher. Who would like to go first?
It makes sense that Golag would probably go first, since he's got it right in front of him.
I've got the shortest walk.
Okay.
Yeah. I finish up breakfast, dab the corners of my mouth, and say, "Well," and snap my napkin, and and start to fold it, and then just throw it on the table and say, "What's his name again?" Sylvan. Yeah. And then trumble off very, very, very importantly off to the bike.
Okay. Where are you intending on? I mean, this spell takes only like 6 seconds to cast. Where are you intending on casting it? Are you just doing it in your study and where you meet with everyone?
I'll have Sylvan bring it in. I mean, I would wherever it is. I mean, maybe since it's such a topic, he brought it right into the study. I mean, normally I would think he would, have some place that Sylvan puts these things, and then but I probably since it's top of the mind, I said bring that into my study, and bring it into the study, and I'll head in, and I don't think anyone else was really involved. I mean, obviously everyone's got their own assignments here, and I don't think anyone. I mean, unless So I'll just go in and take a look at it. Yeah.
All right. So I mean, why don't you give us a society check, please?
All right.
Let's just see how much. I'm just gonna see what you know, just in general about this, and then are you intending on heightening this so you can see things within the last month?
Oh yeah, that's a great card.
Like what you know is that this guy went missing within the last week, so If that's the case, then the first level casting of that spell will be sufficient. Like, you don't have to heighten a spell every time you cast it. You can choose to cast it to use either a first level slot or a second level slot when you prepare it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, actually, that was my plan. I'm trying to remember because I had this thought was like basically a month ago that I had kind of put this.
Okay.
I thought, I should do some object readings, and I'm trying to remember what I did as usual. And I think second level was the plan actually.
Okay.
Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh wait, that was the plan.
So the thing is, I'll just tell you the reason why you might want to cast that first is because you see, like, when you cast it, what you do is you see an event associated with a spell, and with the second level casting, that event can come from up to the past month ago, and it's some kind of event that has like an emotional. Some kind of emotional significance to it. If you're casting at first level, the thing is that you get one of those views, but in order to get multiple, events or to view them, you need to cast it multiple times. So you would need to prepare it multiple times then, and why use up a second level slot when a first level suffices?
Yep. I mean, I'd prepared it to level 2. We'll just go with that, and I'd prepared it twice because my I've been doing that because in preparation for both the bike and the ship. So whether I use them both now or use one on the ship, whatever.
Okay.
So that was the plan.
So the one thing I will say about this is remember that you have to place it in your hand. So if you're going on the ship, you're going to want to pick some small, pick an object you can pick up in your hand to be able to make that reading. Because I don't think you can use it on. Yeah, you can't use it on like a location per se.
Yep, gotcha.
Although there might be a psychometry. I need to check Dark Archive because Dark Archive just came out and it has some new occult spells in it, I know. And I'll bet you those have a very Paridar appropriate feel to them.
Yeah.
So, what do you think it looks like as you touch this bike, pick it up, and cast your spell?
I think that it starts taking on a less inanimate object feel to it. It becomes it looks a little different, and I can kind of almost look behind it in a multi-dimensional way. So I'm like pulling back kind of a darkness and looking inside the bike in a metaphysical, to see what it has.
And maybe you pass through it into this like shadowy perspective where you can see like almost like negatives, like white outline versions of people doing their things, and you can feel the emotional impact of whatever's happening. At second level, I think the first thing you view is, well, I'll let you do this. Let me grab a target number for you, because if there's a bike, right, that's been given to two little boys who did not expect to get such an extravagant gift, what do you think the most emotional event is associated with that bike?
I mean, the two I would expect is the gift giving, and if some tragedy or atrocity occurred near the bike. Those are the two events I'm looking for. Those are the two events I'm expecting. Emotionally, is
this would be a great way for me to get in the horrific drunken hit and run that the kids were involved with their bike, kill the senator's wife. It's going to be.
And they laughed. The kids laughed.
Yeah, I know. Backed up over her.
Right.
Okay, so what I was going to say is, you're absolutely right. That's what I think probably the most emotionally significant is the gift itself. But I'm going to give you a chance to try and steer clear from that towards something different. So why don't you give us an occultism check we'll set it at your level, a DC 18.
Okay. And we've all got one hero point, right?
You all have 2 hero points because it's already noon.
Aha.
Wasted time bullshitting at the start of the session, and you guys don't need to suffer for my gushing about the Sandman.
Let's see here. Occultism, here we go.
Must be dreaming. So many points.
So many hero points. They go quick,
speaking
though.
of which... Spending
hero point? You got it.
That's why I asked. I had a feeling.
Oh, so close. So what you
close.
see is, I mean, it does fill you with joy. Like there is I think a sympathetic quality to the experience where you're feeling the joy of these kids getting it from their father. You also have a chance of seeing their father, this dwarven laborer, or dwarven, I guess, factory worker. And the kids, you know, it sounds, I think, a little echoey in that dreamlike quality, where you're seeing a replay, but the emotional connection, while the visual connection with it is not quite in the finest detail, at least without you focusing on it, the emotional impact of it is just, you know, is fully there. You can feel the joy from these kids and the love from the father towards the kids as well. So that is the most significant as you know, your senses come back to the real world.
And it's probably, you know, it's a distraction. So, you know, I'll be in reverie with that against my best plan. Mm-hmm. You know, you get stuck in there a little bit, which is the whole point.
What do you think? Let me ask you this: what is, if there was anything, what was the most significant gift that Doc gave you?
And I was going that direction too, actually, just as you were saying that.
Well, because we've all played together for like 3 years, so we all just share one mind now.
Right. Well, you know, because he would be. I think the enjoying the kids part is the Golag part, and he probably. I was going to say he probably comes back out of this little reverie with this joyous little scene of his father staring at him, saying, "Seriously." You know, like,
yeah.
This is your job? Are you on vacation? You know, this kind of thing, like.
Does he have a picture of his father in the study? Like a sepia-colored kind of light writing?
He probably does, which is it's like almost masochistic because, you know, he looks up, you know, why have it there? Like this kind of thing. Probably Sylvan is like in some moment has said, do you want me to move that? No, I don't want you to move that. You know, this kind of weird, like, you know, it makes you so unhappy, but yes, but I have to have it there. You know, this kind of
is it a picture, like a recent picture of him, or is it like something of you and him? It's one of those like styad, you know, dad standing with hand on shoulder of this kid.
I think it leans right into like, why would you ever have that there? It's just him, and it's him looking down at me. I mean, it's just classic. It's just a masochistic, you know. And I insist on it being there for some bizarre, you know, kind of like that's just why, you know, why Golag, why? But you know, he has this picture of it looking down on me. So
yeah, you come out of this and the joy.
What did you ask me? I completely skipped your question.
No, that's okay. No, that's good. That's all good stuff. My question was, what was the most significant gift that Doc ever gave you?
Oh gosh.
And if something doesn't come to mind immediately, I'll let you think on that. But I can't help but think that feeling the relationship between those that family, that you may have your mind turned to what, you know, what it compares like to your own experience, especially if you've got your father glaring at you from the thing from the
mantle. Yeah. I mean, well, you know, I think it's got to be the bowling ball theory, and that, you know, so it's supposed to be for me, but it was for him. You know, the gift to me was really what he would want, not what I would want. You know, so it's supposed to be some personal gift. It's not some personal gift. It's work. So he gives me a work gift. You know, and I'm like. For my, I don't know what orcs have, but for my 21st, really, my orc coming, whatever orcs have, you know, my whatever, you're really giving me this kind of a thing. But of course, Doc's giving me that. It's some work tool, you know, and he's certain that I would have loved it, and I'm like, you know, but it's him, you know, it's what he does.
Okay, so that was your first casting of it.
Yeah, we'll do it again. These aren't to be saved. I mean, you know, you gotta.
So you need not, having already seen that one, you need not see it again.
Yeah.
I think on this viewing, what you can sense is a couple of things. It's actually something. It is a memory where the bike is down, and it is surrounded by, you know, train. Remind me again, who found the bike? Was it Golag, or was it? I thought it was either Golag or Basil.
That's
I think it was me, but I'm not really sure anymore.
Sounds good.
Right, because I think you also made that nature roll. We were surprised with to see the hoof prints, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So what we, I think, the way you can see it in your mind is consistent with where it was found. There are, the ghostly, shadowy versions of where this fell, and what you can hear off in a distant and echoey way is the sound of the two boys looking for the bike. Mm-hmm. And the other thing you can hear, so you can picture you're standing there, you can see this bike. The bike is not, it's got an emotional connection to the kids because it's a treasured, possession and a gift from their father. But what you can hear as well is a low kind of rumbling growl. And you hear the sound of large, probably hoof prints coming down in the overgrown terrain of Eckert's Green.
Did we determine that, what is the name of the creature, of the lake creature?
A kelpie.
Did we determine that kelpies have hooves? We did not, did we? That had nothing to do with.
You
I'm just
found hoof
confirming.
prints in the middle of the in the middle of the tangle of the forest, and you guys sort of concluded that it would be unusual for someone, unless they were incredibly reckless or the horse was completely lost. It'd be very unlikely that a horse would be riding around wild in this part of Paridar Commons.
And kelpies don't have hooves, to our knowledge, right? We also came with that. It's a sea creature, not a lake creature, not a. Did we determine?
I'll
that?
leave it to you guys.
They can change shape, right? I thought they had a horse shape that they used to lure their victims.
Gotcha.
That's what led us to the kelpie. Yeah.
They didn't have horseshoes. They had hooves, but no horseshoes. Horseshoes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And can I tell at that time? Do I feel the presence of the kids or the father, or do I not know?
You can vaguely feel the presence of, there's a very, very, in the same way that the voices sound far off, there's a sense of, loss or, sorrow from the kids because they're, they don't know where their toy is. But there's something that is a little more present. You can feel a sense of hatred, anger. It's not as present as what it was when you felt the father and the kids, or the two sons, around the bike, but it's there, and it is more. It is certainly closer than what the emotional resonance of the kids are.
Can I tell if the father ever put his hand on the bike at that point? I mean, did he find it?
What you can tell is, remember, the way it does, it gives you little glimpses of moments in the past. That's what you can see, is that the boys are far off, and there is something with a low growl that has sounds like it's moving through bushes, and you can feel a hot, burning hatred coming from a source closer to the bike than what the kids are. You may very well be witnessing a moment of near tragedy.
Like as if the kids had found the bike, they might have been the victim? Is that I can wonder about that? That's my wonder, perhaps? Mm-hmm. All right. Fair enough.
You're back in the thing, and you perhaps give a little look back at your father, like, see?
Yeah, right. I'd probably wink at him or, some weird thing.
Do you have 3 castings or 2 castings of it?
2.
2 castings, okay. So then, this is a matter of, 5-10 minutes to conduct this. So if you did want to participate in anything else throughout the day, you have time to do so.
Yeah, I mean, at first, I probably get up and go and scribble, scribble with the quill and
Sure.
make notes of it.
I think that everyone else has probably not even left for their day yet. Like they're probably, because again, like it's a matter of like 12 seconds for you to cast these 2 spells. Even with the flourishes and whatnot too, we're talking a matter of like 10 minutes. So you could have a chat with everyone before they leave if you choose to.
Yeah, and if I was in the early riser category, then maybe they're still eating or something. Maybe they're still chatting around the table or whatever. They're still around in that
possibly.
sense. Since I got a good jump on it, my usual we overlap, but we don't start at the same time. Perhaps on breakfast.
This could, I mean, knowing how long the spell takes to cast and how long it takes to to prep stuff, you could very well have done that before the breakfast and then met with everyone and talked about that if you like.
Yeah, that would make sense since it's a solo, and I was probably itching to it's something I don't need anyone else. In fact, I prefer no one else. Sylvan, close the doors. He's already closed them. Yeah. And okay.
So we're going to revise that or just amend the opening scene just a little bit. I think Sally, Basil, and Dr. Earthsprung, you have all talked about what you're going to do with your day. You've decided on where you're going to go, and then Golek kind of comes in with flourish and sits down, of course, at the head of the table. And what do you have to share, Golek?
I sit down with some minor bit of smug satisfaction, like I have big news, and so I have taken a look into the shadows of that bike, and what they have revealed to me is that I could see the children looking for them, looking for them. Even though we found one, two. That's another question, actually, that Sean just thought of. So Golag's bringing it up that, so there's 2 bikes, 2 kids, 2 bikes.
One bike.
We found, so there's always only one.
Ever been. They're very expensive, and this is a working class family, so.
Got it.
Yeah.
Never mind. As the children didn't find their bikes and they were in the distance, there was a growl and some hoof prints being made near the bikes, and a deep, intense hatred accompanied the scene.
One thing on contemplation too, Golag, you're certain it's hatred, not hunger.
A hatred that would not be associated with a hungry predator, but something else that offers a twist to our investigation, that steers us away from. I'm sure Paridar has its own version of Occam's razor, but that steers us away from Occam's razor in this particular.
The monk Occam was a half elf. That's all.
Steers us away from Paradar's razor, whatever. That there may be some more to this story, something more personal than just a predator feeding unwelcomely at a lake in a city.
And I was interested in your visions. It was during the day that this happened. It wasn't a creature attacking at night, so it was taking more risk by being in the daytime. It could have been discovered more easily.
Did I get daytime, a little bit more daytime than nighttime, Kevin? Did I get anything like that?
It was right near, like it was still light outside because it was at the end of day when they were closing the park. That's when the boys were looking for it, so it would have been kind of dusk. But you're absolutely right. Like it's not like it's pitch black where it would be impossible to see this. If it is hunting in a park, it is quite bold. So
that makes me think that it was possibly in the lake or pond rather than coming through a potential portal, because that would have been surely too hard to hide, or someone would have seen something surely. So maybe it's living in that pond.
And whether we have the right, I mean, in the sense, I guess it matches our suspicions from the aspect of if it would transform into a creature that would have hooves, I mean, that would match it. But on the other hand, why did I not get the sense of a hungry predator and instead got this hatred that shouldn't really be present if it was simply randomly feeding on citizens and this was the latest? That doesn't match. So does that mean that we have the right killer and yet the wrong motive? Or does it mean that we have the wrong killer? Is the question that comes to my mind.
Would any of us have any knowledge if such a creature would be created or summoned, rather than, just be a sort of natural living creature?
Here.
Put it there.
Yeah. I think all of you guys can give us a roll here. Let's see. It is. I've been grousing about some of the layout in some of the RPG books that we've been using in our games and whatnot. The PF2 core rulebook is laid out exceptionally well. It's very, very easy to find stuff when I'm looking for it, and it's a big book.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but Gulag, I maybe remind you that we had already this theory that these creatures who were eyeing us might be connected, because there was some kind of this kind of fey reality realm, whatever this was, where the boundaries were very thin between our plane of existence and their realm. So there might be someone steering this creature or using this creature in any way. So maybe you have sensed that person?
Yeah, that could be the bridge between the killer and the surprise motive. Is the AV, what do we call birds? Not aviators.
Avians?
Avians, thank you.
Yeah.
Aviators would be a little strong. Avians.
I don't know, maybe they're picking up some
Naval
pilot training.
aviators, even.
Yeah. Those lake aviators. The avians could be the bridge between the proper killer and the apparent motive, surprise motive.
I found what I was looking for too. Darren, what was your question again about the creature?
I was just wondering if it's a natural living creature, or if it's sort of ever been known to be created or summoned or used as a.
What did Professor Galberry tell you about the potential for potential explanation for this thing? I think he had some insight on the Kelpie, didn't he?
Let's see. The hoofprint was very like a horse. The Kelpie, we're aware of. We're aware of the creatures appearing as a unicorn that attempts one onto its back, lures you down to the water. There, it devours the target. But you would expect them to be in the wilds, not the city. And I'm not sure that was
wild critters, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that was specific to the professor, though. Let me see. I'm still looking.
I guess one thing I would mention of that Galberry, if it wasn't, or if you didn't put a too fine a point on this, they're creatures of another world. They're not creatures natural to your own. Like I think he might have mentioned the shadow creatures that you had so recently faced. Those things come from another world. Likewise, these things, kelpies and such, they are not native to this, to this material plane. They come from elsewhere.
So that leans some more sort of support to that, is some sort of gateway or portal between where we are and another plane, or
as well in a indirect way towards maybe more of a tool than a tool used by someone else, rather than just a predator going about its business finding prey.
So something would have to bring it through that, rather than it finding its way through this, if we call it a portal. Do you think
Perhaps
someone would summon it through?
Yeah, we had this theory that maybe there was, if this boundary will get even weaker, there might be some kind of let's not call it invasion, because I think we're always fighting some kind of invasion here, but some kind of intrusion from that other plane into ours on a bigger scale. So I would, it reminds me like it's like a crack where just this one creature or maybe another one creature or something like that, they moved through and the rest is still behind. And maybe it is now hating all humans and our plane because it can't get back. Would be a very simple motive.
And the professor's looking into the actual disturbance, isn't he? In case it is something that's going to be more serious, and if they can close it or whatever. So at least they're looking into that. Okay. Well, it's more information. It confirms what we thought, potentially.
It was just our theory. I mean, it's not a fact just because I said so.
No.
Well, don't underestimate yourself, Basil. And settles in, not to cross genres, but settles in for a second breakfast.
So then, does this information affect anyone's plans for the day?
Well, it caused Adam to leave, so
Best theory.
Right.
We're still planning to visit tonight, are we? If able to get the weapons that we...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Our overnight. Yeah. I mean, it could come to a cataclysmic head. I guess so, we hope.
Okay.
With our weapons.
Then what we'll say... Oh, so I see Dr. Earthsprung is currently a spinning symbol.
Just have to refresh.
he's a card, that lad.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'll try again.
There we go. Perfect. So then, which do we... I guess first off, I'll give you a couple minutes early here. Everyone gets a hero point. And what do we wish to do next?
As you guys want. I mean, I could go first or you could go first.
Well, you can start because yours is a sort of whole day type investigation.
Yeah.
Basil, do you want company, or are you?
Maybe. I tend to find some trouble following me, and maybe if you are with me, then it will be a shared trouble. That would be better, I suppose.
Management will come along.
Okay, so then what we'll treat that mechanically as is for Golag assisting Basil in his gather information efforts. So gather information typically uses diplomacy, absent any other feats or whatever else. But I think Basil might have a feat that allows you to use something different.
I can use society.
Okay.
So I would. Yeah.
You would like to do that, all right? We'll also consider: is this what is you're looking for? So I don't think this is part of your current ongoing investigations.
No, I could do this, but I think it's maybe a little bit off. I'm just doing this because I think I have to not to waste time and use it for something to help Adam. So,
but for Golag, you don't need to spend or to use the same skill in order to assist. All it is just it's a DC 20 skill check. But what skill do you think you're using to thematically help Basil in his gathering of information?
So, I mean, I have a. And what is the chief question you're trying to?
I want to know in what
Basil?
way that you're assisting Basil in his efforts to go around. We're going to be cutting to a montage of kind of Basil meeting with all his sundry contacts across the city.
So I have a skill feat streetwise that lets me use society. How about that?
Yeah. You can use society instead, sure. So a DC 20 check for you. On a success, +1. On a crit, it's +2.
I'll spend
the hero point. You got it. Yeah. Come on, big money. There you go. Nice. Now is it 25 that you need to get +2, or is it only?
No, it's 30. Yes.
Is it 30 and you get +2? Okay. So,
yeah, so he needs a critical success. So
is it critical? Okay,
20.
because there's other ones like medicine has it. It doesn't. It goes in smaller increments. So, all right. So you got +1 to your skill on top of this. So Basil, go ahead and give us a society check, please.
Yeah. +1. Yeah. So I would just roll and then we just add 1 after.
Okay. So 20 on the nose. Did you forget to add a hero point?
Yes, I wanted to add a hero point.
Okay, so I think,
yeah.
Yeah, so you will save yourself at it. Do you wish to re-roll, or what is your?
Yes.
Yeah, it has an 8. Okay.
Yeah. So let's hope for something better.
Nat 20,
Yeah,
beautiful. All right.
Nice.
So then, what you? I think the person you come across is a. Well, I guess let's start with this. Who do you think that it is that you two are? I mean, if it's streetwise, it's going to be definitely the more the lower end of the Coalpunk part of our society, not the steampunk part of our society. So, what? Who is it? Do you think that you're going to be asking, or the most significant people you are going to be you're asking?
Yeah, I was just thinking that maybe just for a hinge, I would just talk to Elizabeth Green, maybe, because she might know persons that are maybe a little bit shady as well, because I think that the medical corps might have connections somehow.
Okay. So I think, and your last dealing with Dr. Green was, well, actually that was it was Golag, I think, Dr. Urspunk had the last dealings with her. Golag, yeah, Dr. Urspunk had the last dealings with her because it was when he was inspecting those patchwork bodies. So perhaps we see, Golag and Basil waiting outside of a, maybe it's a, like one of the barracks that's used to store. It's secret that they store some of the things there, like the vampiric serum and some of their other stuff. So it looks just like any other kind of like bland, low brick kind of storage thing. But you guys know that it's something else. So she comes out and is making her way to the carriage when she hears kind of a not a squeak, but a clearing of the throat, as it were. And I think there's rain coming down at this point as well to lend the scene a little extra atmosphere. She turns and looks over and sees the contrast of Golag, who seemingly is being swallowed by the shadows, and Basil. Let me just give John our link here. And her head kind of cocks to the side, and she says, "Mr. Rathbone, Mr. Golag."
Yes.
I suppose I should not be surprised to see you here. And
No.
you can see there's someone who's standing next to her, seems to be like reaching for a gun, and she puts her hand up as if like, no trouble. And she walks over to you and says, "To what do I owe this pleasure?" So there's Dr. Green.
You maybe have heard what happened to our Dr. Earthborough.
Heard what happened.
Really hard to not pronounce it German.
You can pronounce it as German as you like.
Absolutely.
So he's so his building was burned down, and a suspicious guy named Nolan Lope was somehow involved, we suppose.
She nods. She says, "I did hear of Dr. Ursprung's clinic. I am... that was an unfortunate, not only loss for him, but for his neighborhood as well. I have... my understanding is that Dr. Raycroft is assisting with rebuilding the clinic, though."
Yes, that is one part, but we need to make sure that this will not happen again.
You are concerned about the source of the fire, then?
Yes, very much.
She looks back at the guard and then look back at you, and you realize that in her world, it's not only a matter of the guard is there to keep her safe. It's also to keep track of her movements. You imagine, to the best of your knowledge, she doesn't run the 9th Medical Corps. So she leans in and says in a much quieter voice, I imagine you've been told to leave this matter.
Absolutely.
And past experience with you and your fellows, I understand that you will not be leaving this.
Definitely, yes.
And there are 2 things I can tell you. One, there is a clinic at Barrow Head. Or, I'm sorry, not a clinic, what would you call it? A chapel at Barrow Head. Yeah. And you know where that is in town. It's, again, like a low-end district.
Yeah.
A mission is the word. Sorry, forgive me. The mission is the word I was looking for. A mission at Barrow Head. You may find what you are looking for there.
Yes.
But be cautious. I'm certain you've heard this from others that you have spoken to.
Yes.
But it is dangerous to trifle with the tools of the powerful.
Mm-hmm. So this was the first thing, maybe?
Those are the 2 things.
Oh yeah, I see. So you wouldn't know what powerful person or which powerful person Adam insulted so gravely?
She looks at you kind of in a castigating way, if you weren't keeping your voice down, as if to say, I think the look, you can read it to be that you are putting yourself and her at trouble. Or at risk. But I think that Basil would have maybe read the scene. If I didn't make the scene clear enough for it, Basil may have, I'll assume he just whispered that.
Yes.
Yeah. And what she says, you may read too much into your own importance.
Yeah, maybe.
If the powerful had if they had you as a goal, or Dr. Ersprung, then rest assured that you would know so.
Yes, I see. Okay, that is similar to a conclusion I had, but it's good to have some confirmation.
My advice, Mr. Rathbone, Mr. Golag, is to never set foot in the mission at Barrow Head.
Yeah.
But
understood. Yeah.
There's a little twinkle in her eye. I suspect I know you now well enough. I send my best to Dr. Ersprung. And she turns. Good day, gentlemen. Next time, I have an office. And she steps into the cab. Her guard steps in after giving you guys a dirty look. He is definitely a member of the Paridar military. The carriage rolls away, leaving you guys standing with one another in the rain.
What is our understanding of, I'm sure I'm just forgetting, of why she needs a minder like that close that would watch her movements? What's the...
think of yourself, you know what's I think a good idea for where she finds herself? The remake of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy that came out, like, I mean, I say recently, but it's like fucking 10 years old at this point. The paranoia within the government of watching the watchers who are watching yourselves, who are watching whatever, like not knowing who you can trust within that apparatus is probably part and parcel of just existing in it. You're keeping secrets from perhaps, not only large swaths of the population, but also probably large swaths of the people in power or the government or whatever. It's not so much that that person is only her minder. It's there to protect her as what any, important person would have. But in addition, that person may also be reporting back. They don't work for her.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of a KGB, Kafkaesque feel, government.
Precisely.
Overall.
Yeah. I mean, if you're part of the secret medical corps, that produced a whole generation of vampiric citizens, God knows that's the stuff that they know about. God knows what other stuff they've been up to, and what lengths they'd go to keep those secrets.
So, Basil, if the doctor and ourselves were not the target of the attack on his clinic, what are your thoughts on why the clinic was burned then? Exactly. It was just the block? It was just sheerly the geographic location then. Whatever was there would have been burned? Is that your thought?
And then maybe that would be the most material reason to do that. Or maybe it is just because, Adam helps the people there. He makes them a little bit more healthy, gives them hope in a way, and maybe he also helps people to fight back sometimes. So that's not maybe something that higher ups would like. So let's keep them more desperate and more poor. So maybe it's just I thought about this thing that is just for material reasons, and that was something I thought about yesterday and the day before, if you remember. But maybe it's even less. It's more like a social issue. No free healthcare or cheap healthcare. Just.
It's a rather sharp reaction for that sentiment, but perhaps that someone of such power, apparently, that we're tinkering with, that would have my father drop it and destroy all files, doesn't seem like someone that would notice such a clinic, even bother with it. But
or that person is like, sometimes, our government makes use of this very skilled people who are highly trained assassins and whatnot, and sometimes they are also a little bit crazy. And maybe that person is, on the one hand, a top spy person, whatever, and on the other hand, he is really convinced of his mission. We don't know. I think we have to talk to him. Yeah.
A fanatic that would that the government could be using for its own purposes, but he's still a fanatic.
Yes.
And so, and obviously, the message is that this lobe would be found at the mission that we obviously have to go to.
Yeah.
Perhaps in numbers, even greater numbers than you or I, as formidable as we are.
Yes. We shouldn't go there. I mean, she told us explicitly not to go there.
Indeed. So we should go with at full strength if we do, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So then, that's what you guys were doing during the day. Ms. Dumer and Dr. Ersprung, you were meeting with, let's see here, with Mrs. Carrington.
Annabelle, yeah.
Yeah. It appears that Stitches has come back to life once again. Do you wish to bring the doll with you?
Yeah, I shall ask Stitches if he wants to accompany us to speak to the reporter.
Oh, John, I believe you're muted. Everyone?
It's okay, the voice box was warming up.
Timo.
Yes, Stitches would love to go with.
Okay. Then, where do you guys think you would meet with Mrs. Carrington? At her office? At the park, once again? At a cafe?
I'd have thought early doors she'd probably be at her office, wouldn't she, before she goes out to find stories or interview with people and stuff.
Yeah, she's out. Well, I mean, she is out and about more than she's an investigative journalist, so she is often out and about as much as she is writing. What is it that are you just? I guess you hadn't contacted her before, so you're just showing up at the Globe.
Yeah, it was Basil that had suggested that we speak to her, and she thought it was a good idea. So
I think you're maybe at the office, trying to navigate the bureaucracy here with the large patchwork physician, the what do you call it? Azarketti woman, and a small doll. Getting a couple of looks, and then you see that. Mrs. Carrington is kind of walking in, maybe coming back from a meeting of some kind. And she looks over and says, "Forgive me, Dr. Earthsprung."
Yes.
You're friends with Basil Rathbone, are you not?
Indeed, a good friend.
What brings you to the Globe?
He said you may be able to help me with some fundraising for my clinic.
He told you? Good, of course. And Mrs. Dumer? Or Ms. Dumer? It is
No, I just thought I could maybe add any, be helpful in this promotion, and anything I could do to help.
Very kind of you to
Just a chance to meet.
Certainly. I don't know if we formally met, so it's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. I've seen you in circles.
No, an absolute delight to meet you as well.
Mm-hmm. And is this one of your creations, Dr. Earthsprung?
This is one of the inhabitants of Paridar that I wish to help further. It's people like him and me that need more help.
I see. Does it speak?
Stitches, and I'll just gesture to Stitches.
Yes, Stitches speaks.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I'm sure there's a story there. You'll have to tell me after, Dr. Earthsprung. Perhaps I don't really have space here. Coffee? Tea?
Yes.
Oh. It eats?
Stitches does eat, yes.
Very well. Then, Dr. Earthsprung, Ms. Dumer, Stitches, this way. She leads you out to a place nearby, which looks to be a pretty busy little, what's the word I'm looking for? A cafe. It's, they have baked goods and whatnot in here too. So sitting around, she asks, "Well, what is it you're looking for? What is it that you have in mind?"
As I said, I believe that you have some influence, and people that maybe a little bit wealthier than myself. I'm trying to restore my clinic.
Yes,
and help the people of the poorer quarters of the city, should I say.
Certainly. Perhaps you could tell me more about your clinic itself, the people it services. If you could give me, the public enjoys putting a name to a face, particularly with sympathetic stories. Indeed, if you could, I understand you also work with members of the medical establishment as well, too.
Yes, I've done some research with some of the medical facilities, but the main purpose is to return the clinic. I'll give her the address of where it was. I'm sure she knows. But it provided free healthcare to the people that can't afford it, and there are many of those people that are now without that care. Okay.
So we don't need to go through the full explanation, but she's going to grill you on names and whatever else, so to get as much information as you can about the types of people that you serviced, really sympathetic examples, if she could.
And it'll be a massively wide array, and I'll give as many, from all sorts of different races and.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everything from the kind of common cold type stuff to preventative, like maternity care, what is it, prenatal care, and then up to like fixing clockwork prosthetics on people who injured in work to enable them to keep working.
Yeah, and I will obviously stretch it a little bit, for war heroes and anyone that literally has been sort of thrown out on the street or abandoned by the rest of the city, young children, single mums, and just
all things. And I mean, the benefit is that you've got the roster of patients that you have seen. Like there is no shortage of sad stories that you've been able to assist. So I think that probably takes up much of the. It was probably early or like mid morning, but it probably takes you through to lunch. She insists on treating you all to lunch as well, and trying to get as much as she can. What she's going to propose, and Ms. Dumer, you can certainly make suggestions as well. Mrs. Carrington Ms. Carrington, I should say, has friends who she can meet with to try and set up a sort of a fundraising thing, something that's going to specifically appeal to the elite. And what she would suggest is that once she gets her article out, to have that within the week, so really kind of strike while the iron's hot. Well, the public's attention is on it to try and get that, and she will speak to her editor and let you know when that's when the story will go out. But she's going to try and put it together as soon as possible.
Yeah,
that's super, sir.
And if she thinks it's a good idea, maybe bring some of the sort of treated patients along.
She says if they would feel comfortable doing so and not feel like an attraction, explain to them that.
Very specific people that I will obviously have to run it past, but
most definitely, if you could, the wealthy enjoy, as I'm sure Ms. Dumer can attest to, they do enjoy a spectacle. And if there are those who are willing to be gawked at by those with deep pockets, it will yield more money and more donations.
Oh, and absolutely. And since the elite seem to enjoy a little novelty, then if there's anything I can do to provide support here that might entertain them and aid the effort, just let me know, please.
If you do have, I understand that when you first came to Paridar, Ms. Dumer, that you did serve as somewhat of the type of spectacle for which we speak. If you'd be willing to perform a similar oratory to what I understand you used to perform, only to speak to your current activities, I can tell you that your detective agency, the Shadow Illuminations Detective Agency, has the attention of the public at present. So hearing it from one as exotic as yourself, and while Mr. Rathbone has never indicated or expressed an interest in public speaking, I believe that he may also provide a worthy attraction to speak to your investigations.
Well, then I'll try and persuade Mr. Rathbone. Yeah, I'm sure he's a good speaker.
She seems pleased with that.
He does talk. He is very good at talking. So, I mean, one doesn't want to be a spectacle or anything, but, for the greater good.
Indeed. Then, I have much work to do here. Stitches, I would at some point like to meet with you to hear about the novelty of your circumstances.
I will arrange my thoughts and get them in order for you then.
Good. I will have to, then that will provide a ready excuse for why I will not be able to speak to you today. Dr. Ersprung, is there anything else that you would like me to include in my story? Anything that you believe might assist in putting the best face forward for your clinic and your activities in the community?
Just to emphasize that by the clinic being there, it's getting people off of the streets almost, so that the rich won't have to deal with the people that are being turned away from other places, and let's not call it begging on the streets, but they'll be out of sight, out of mind.
She nods her head. I understand. Good. Then I will try to. I think I know the folks of whom you are concerned. I will try and present it as such. Then, is there anything else?
No, you've been very kind to give us all this time, your precious time.
And you, Doctor, are very kind to share your story with me as well. I do hope that we can find a way to assist you in bringing your clinic back, not only as it was, but even better than before.
Indeed.
Then, thank you. Lunch is most assuredly on me. Thank you all. And please send my best to Mr. Rathbone. And she gets up and leaves. You can see she's still actually like kind of jotting down a couple of notes as she's going, it seems. Goes over and pays the bill, leaves the three of you alone to talk amongst one another as you're finishing off the last of your lunch.
Yeah, I guess we'll return to the agency or the investigation office.
Who was it who actually ordered? I think it was Golag who ordered the actual cold iron weaponry, isn't it, right?
Probably.
So we can assume that you guys picked that up in the midst of your day, kind of trying to find info about this preacher. Because you got a crit as well, I think we role played out that one scene, but you did talk to some other folks as well. And if you're asking around about Barrowhead itself, this is not far off from it's like one neighborhood over from where Dr. Earthsprung's clinic is located. You may recall that when you spoke to Father Tilcott, the one who'd helped you with what's his name, with Major Fitzhume, that vampiric soldier who was kidnapping or transforming kids. Tilcott was saying that this guy, there was, when he came in, there was a bunch of, or rather when what's his name was kicked out, there was a bunch, kind of, he made a mess of his congregation, and there was work that Tilcott had to do to sort of get things on the straight and narrow. So it may not be surprising that if he has set up a mission, that it may be in the neighborhood over from where you are.
Okay. We'll head back. I mean, we'll be. Yeah.
So I think you've all made your way back. So I expect that Dr. Earthsprung, Ms. Dumer, and Stitches are back before everyone else. Anything you wish to do in your afternoon before we have Golag and Basil return? You probably have a couple of hours if there's anything.
Only checking up on Betty and Cyrus.
Yeah, I think Sally, maybe you want to visit.
Yeah, I need to go and
Mrs. Hunter.
Yeah, I need to go to see Mrs. Hunter. Indeed.
Okay. So what we'll do is, why don't we take our mid-session break right now? First off, everyone gets a hero point. Then we will take our mid-session break, and we'll come back, and we'll see what Mrs. Hunter, why she wants to see you. So, for those listening home, we'll be back momentarily.
Yeah. I always want to call him Dr. Adam Ursprung.
So, obviously late, as always. First hour of the session, did we do anything crazy, like into a fight, or just...
No.
Okay.
We woke up and
Okay.
We got some information, and Golak got some readings from the bike.
Cool.
That's about it.
Yeah, I wish I could make it like an hour earlier, but schedule.
So there was not one fishy joke right now, so it's very, very, I don't know, it's, so we have to keep up. I mean, I think to work on that.
You might have hexed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't want to disappear down that mouse hole.
No.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Turn from fish to mouse.
Yeah, no, but I think so. Just to continuing this rivalry, so that would be nice. I mean, just.
At least we haven't gotten with the orc puns. We're avoiding that. That's good.
Yeah.
Stay away from that.
So I don't know. I commented on MeWe that the book Kevin had. So I don't know, recollections of the of a Paradigm detective or something like that he had made for Golag. I said that there should be a foreword by summons that and that person, maker of the Orc Witch or inventor of the Orc Witch. But,
right, proper Orc Witch.
Yeah, the proper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay. Before we get back into, I will just say one of the things that we got word of this week was someone who played in this campaign at the start of it as well, too. Maurice Walsh, one of our regular players for the last 3 years, that he had passed away last month or the beginning of last month. I just wanted to say once again a huge thank you to. We just received another notice on it. We shared the news with the Dungeon Musings community on the Dungeon Musings Discord server as well as on the channel, and it's been lovely hearing the people on the Discord server have interacted more or had interacted more with Mo, but the people on the channel, it's been just wonderful hearing how much people enjoyed seeing him play and the characters he did and his approach to role playing and everything. So Mo is going to be definitely his absence will be felt by our community for a very long time, and it's really lovely to hear that he had an impact in other people's lives as well too. It's tough losing one of your party members, and it's lovely to know that he's also in so many other people's memories as well. So thanks very much for sharing those to everyone who did.
And I see Lady Lillian's character sheet is still there, so she's just away on adventure somewhere else.
Precisely. Very important stuff. Well, those what do you call it, those hex-blooded types, they can always, you never know what they're up to. So yeah, we won't be removing her character or anything like that at any point soon. So yeah, thanks everyone. And if you're curious, what we've done is a way of keeping Mo in our memory. Anytime someone mutes their mic and forgets to unmute it before they're talking, we give a toast to Mo, because when we first started playing Starfinder with Mo, it was a struggle for him to remember to unmute all the time. So we're carrying on a proud tradition that started with that campaign. All right, then, guys. I believe the next thing we were going to do is Ms. Dumer wanted to meet with Mrs. Hunter.
All right.
Okay. So you're arriving. I'll give you a little change of scenery. We've been sitting at the Paridar Detective Agency's office for a while. You'll be meeting with her in a nicer part of town. But let's see. How nice are we going to go here? Well, fuck it. Let's go all out. There we go. You're not going to Eckert House, but it's much closer to where you guys are than where you guys are running your business. So there's a knock on the door, or you knock on the door, and it's answered by one of the regular servants. And Mrs. Hunter, they recognize you immediately, obviously, because you had lived with him. And they, do you think that they call you Sally, or do you think they call you Mrs. Dumer? Do you think you would have been on a more casual purpose or casual name basis?
I think I'd have been more casual. She would have been more casual.
So I think it's a lady who is sort of runs the house, like a lady butler kind of thing. You answer the door. She is. I think she's going to be a little rotund, she trots around quite well, but I mean, she clearly lives a little more comfortable life. She's got the equivalent of like a, butler's tuxedo on, but fitting, her frame properly. And her, I think her name is going to be Henrietta. This is Hunter's butler. So Henrietta gets a big smile on her face. Sally.
Henrietta, how are you doing?
I am so well.
Lovely
Please.
to see you again.
She gives you a big hug. You're at least a head taller than her. She says, "You got Mrs. Hunter's message then?"
Absolutely. So I've come over as soon as I could.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is good. I will. Please, you know your way to the. Well, let me take you there. Come, come. And there's one or two servants who are kind of, or one servant, I suppose, who's kind of pokes her head out, and she says, "Warm salted water, please, and biscuits." And the servant kind of looks over. You can tell from her age she's come after your time with the hunters, but she disappears into the back to go and prepare something. And Henrietta brings you into the kind of the sitting area where you and Mr. Hunter, or Captain Hunter, I should say, and Mrs. Hunter spent many evenings whiling away the time. There is Captain Hunter himself was actually quite an accomplished pianist as well too, and you can see the big piano still in the room. And Henrietta kind of comes in, and says, "And how are things with you?"
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
I've been reading in the paper.
Terribly well.
It's such wonderful things in the paper. So glad to find it. You're finding it interesting then, the investigation part you're doing?
Oh, very exciting, yes. A refreshing change and much excitement. So many new things to see.
Oh, indeed. That makes sense then. That makes a lot of sense. If you had put it to me, I don't think I would have pictured you in such a role, Sally, but put that way, it makes perfect sense. Clear as crystal. Then, Mrs. Hunter, there's an exciting thing going on here that she wants to talk to you about, but you can see that Henrietta likely wants to tell you something that maybe she's been told not to. I think you have a good enough relationship with, or had a good enough relationship with Henrietta to know, sort of, you encouraged more of a casual relationship, it sounds like, than what Mrs. Hunter maybe had. So she may be more willing to confide in you.
Absolutely. I mean, come on, Henrietta. You're holding something back. Come on. Don't hold out on me.
It's just, I don't think she wants to tell you. She wants to tell you about this plan that this feller's got to go under the ocean and go looking for your stuff. And I'll leave it to her. It's beyond me, but it sounds fanciful stuff. But what she's not going to tell you is that there's been a break-in again.
Yeah, it must be so unsettling. What happened? Did something get taken?
Near same as before. Someone broke into Captain Hunter's his office, turned the place upside down. But this time, Mrs. Hunter, she insisted we not call the bobbies, nor that we let you know. Said to just tidy the place up again, that nothing went missing.
Did you have any idea why? Why would she try and hide things from me?
Truth told, Sally, I don't think she wanted to worry you. You've got all such fancy and exciting things going on right now. She didn't want to further upset you, nor to make you feel that you didn't do enough last time. But it was strange, though. It wasn't like before. You remember before they found that goo on it?
Oh, yes.
Well, this time someone cut themselves. And these was wearing shoes. Because they left muddy footprints all throughout the office. But they cut themselves breaking in.
Well, that is very different.
Indeed. It was the only same place, too. As far as we could tell, nothing was taken, though they didn't spare any stone unturned. Looking around his office. Took us hours to put the place back together. Now, I don't want her getting in no trouble for that, and I only tells you because I know you'll do what's best for Mrs. Hunter. But
oh, absolutely, but it's terribly concerning, right?
I agree.
Let me see what I can find out. But I will obviously won't let her know that you informed me of anything.
And you can hear from
Don't
upstairs.
worry about that.
Hey, you hear Mrs. Hunter's voice come down. Henrietta, was that someone at the door? And then Henrietta kind of grabs your hands. Thank you, Sally. Thank you. She turns and heads over to, yes, Mrs. Hunter. It's Sally. It's Mrs. Dumer, or Ms. Dumer. And Mrs. Hunter kind of, sweeps into the room, big smile on her face. Sally. And she comes over and gives you a great big hug again. And it's around that time where the food comes in.
And I shall look positively radiant, I assure you.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of, bullshitting and kind of getting caught up with one another. And is there anything that you, anything you hide from her, or are you kind of letting, you bring her full up to speed? She's very interested in hearing about all of your, all of your investigations and whatnot, and your personal life as well, too.
Oh, yes. So I'll tell her about the last case and, give her a little hint of what we're going on now, but without anything too alarming. I won't mention the Dark Tide Riders or anything like that. I'll keep that to myself.
Okay. So she, we sort of come back into the scene after you've shared everything, and she says, "Oh, it's just wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that you have found such seen such success and found such happiness in your work. I hope then I'm not pulling you away from any pressing investigation."
No. Nothing should count above family, of course.
She get a great big smile on her face. Well, it's to that matter that I wish to speak to you. Tell me, have you heard of a Captain Zalazo? And you can give us a society check or a Paridar lore check.
If I can overcome tech incompetence.
Roll for that too. Okay, so you have. He is a foreign inventor slash. What's the word I'm looking for? Not seaman. Oceanographer, I guess. He's someone who seems to have a great deal of interest in the sea. And you've heard that he has some very novel inventions that he has apparently been presenting, including, and perhaps there's a personal reason why this may have been of interest to you, but apparently a kind of diving suit that would allow those who don't breathe water to venture beneath the waves.
It's always endearing when land creatures like to come and play in the sea.
Indeed. But he has grand... he spoke to me and requested access to Captain Hunter's archive. As you know, Captain Hunter was a deeply curious man and wrote of all he saw in the ocean. But I think that it was his goal to maneuver through myself to get to you, Sally. Because he says he is planning not only an invention, a ship, a submersible that will allow him to travel beneath the waves. He wishes to be an envoy to your people to discover.
Well, I do believe you Paradans have this saying of a fish out of water. And I think that cuts both ways.
Most indeed. And I tell you, had I not met the man, I would have thought him a fool who seemed eager to drown in a coffin. But if you trust me as a judge of people, I believe this Captain Zalazo is... He reminds me of you, Sally.
But I mean, given that there is myself and others like myself who are, how come the need?
So the thing
just come and
is,
speak to us.
you're the only Azurketi who's ever come here. Yeah, you are completely unique in all of Paridar. And there is no back and forth from the people, from your peoples. As you say, like what possible interest could a group of people who live at the bottom of the ocean have in doing any kind of trade or whatnot with people on the surface? Nothing on life on the surface would translate down below, so why on earth would you do it? But this man seems keen on doing so. And his interest seems to be what yours is, for the sake of knowing.
Well, I suppose I could have a discussion with him, but it does seem that there could be easier ways of doing this. Since I'm able to live in both environments, it would seem easier than him having to plumb the depths.
I think a conversation with you would not put that fire out, but would serve as fuel for it. But if you are willing to meet with him, I will arrange a dinner.
Why not? One might call it a fishing expedition.
Oh, your wit, Sally, is as sharp as Captain Hunter's hooks. Then I will arrange for it. And I will check with your, to ensure that it does not interfere with your otherwise brilliant investigations. You can see the time is getting on as well, too. You guys have been chatting a lot longer than you thought. It's going to be getting closer to afternoon or evening.
Well, I'll say, I don't want to hold you back, but I shall head back. But do let me know when you arrange the dinner, and I will be sure to attend.
I will. She gets up. Thank you so much for coming by, Sally. Please, I know you understand this, but know that our door is always open to you. You are welcome here anytime.
No, always, and I will always treat it as a place that,
Thank
my
you.
home from home.
Thank you. Then I will be in touch. And you can see that Henrietta has dutifully been sort of keeping track of what's going on, and Henrietta has your coat or whatever that you'll bring with you, and she's got a quizzical look on her face, like wanting to know, if I guess how things went. So she comes up. There you are, Sally. Did you have a good visit?
Oh, yes. The topic of the break-in never arose, but it's very helpful that you let me know. I want to. But she did talk about some strange man who wants to go off and plumb the oceans. So I shall find out about this strange landlubber. Intriguing, bizarre thought. But
he makes quite an impression. Then, Sally, so good to see you. She gives you a big hug again. And, yeah, I think that's, that is that. I think, Henrietta, because of your past experience, too, she may say hi to Daphne.
I shall do. I see her regularly, so I will let her know that you asked.
Thank you.
I'm sure she'll be delighted.
Good. So then, you leave, and you have some time to think about what your conversation with Mrs. Hunter was like, and we'll pick up with everyone meeting back up in the study. Golag has put down the cold iron weaponry that he retrieved.
I'll be having Sylvan sort it.
Okay. Someone is laying them out carefully, one by one.
Maybe some, tables having been set up, since we can't possibly put that on the furniture. Obviously.
He gives a look to you, leaves, comes back with a leather apron, spreads it across the desktop, and then looking at you begins very precisely putting down each of them.
So, let's see. What How did everyone's morning go?
Stitches pulls out a few of the snacks he took from earlier from the lunch and offers it to the ones that weren't here with them.
Ah, some good snacks there, Stitches.
Yes.
Impressive. Good to have you. Good to have you among us.
Yeah, talked to the reporter lady, and she has some good things planned.
Yes,
For the
she hopes to
fundraising.
she hopes to raise money for the clinic, but obviously that does not involve our investigation, and the night seems to be drawing in. Maybe we need to get to the park sooner rather than later before they shut the gates.
Yeah.
Especially with the way Golag drives.
Yeah,
I beg
I'll
your
take over
pardon.
driving.
That is scandalous, scurrilous, and mostly true.
Trying to marry off Sally, trying to smear my character's driving ability. It's like real. It's outrageous.
You know what we call Golag in my day job? Job security.
A good client, I prefer to put it.
The whole climbing incident as well.
Yes. So, what information do you guys share with one another from what you had learned? I guess, Sally, your dinner with Mrs. Hunter seemed to mostly be of a personal nature, apart from that curious additional break-in. And then Basil and Golag have information about the mission at Barrowhead.
Indeed, Basil, want to share with our group what is undoubtedly one of our very soon-to-be next visits, which could be quite eventful. Oh, Mo. Cheers, Mo.
Oh, cheers to Mo.
No, I think I should do this on purpose, just to.
All it means is that our collective old man bladders are going to be bursting by the end of session. So
yeah, I'm so sorry. So no, I think we should definitely share, and I will talk to especially to Adam and say that we found out that this Brother Loeb is very, very near to your clinic, actually, just 1 block off, I suppose, or 2 blocks or something, like in the next neighborhood. And he has a very, very strong reputation. So everyone with influence and knowledge about the workings of the powerful in this city tells us to stay away from him, which obviously means that we should investigate him very, very closely. And I think we should pay his chapel a visit. But we should do this after we finish the ill tidings at the pond, maybe.
Well, a meeting would certainly see if he's got an issue with myself, because I'm sure he would hide such emotions.
Well, didn't what's his name? Your assistant, didn't he have words
Cyrus
to say?
and Betty, said that I was an abomination or something to that description.
But then again, wasn't it Cyrus who basically threw him out with a little bit of force? So maybe
threw him out, but he definitely asked him to leave. Yeah. But I think he's ranting. I think.
Yeah, I think he was very, very mild in his language, but I got the impression that he used the good old throw him on the street version of get him out the door.
That's not an excuse to burn someone's clinic down.
No, it is not. But if this person is a psychopath, maybe.
Well, I think we probably agree on that.
So let's just see what happened there.
And we've been threatened enough, or I should say, warned enough about from multiple directions, including even my father's formidable business, that anything to do with this is quite risky. So I feel like we will be springing the trap in going. So we'll.
Oh yeah, if by me being there it's going to endanger any of you, then obviously I will hang back.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of hoping we spring it. It's the idea of trying to get the rats out from under the underneath the. I mean, and then looks at Basil and says, "The badgers out from underneath the baskets."
Yes. So I have this wonderful new toy, and I put the clockwork spy up. I think we could maybe have a peek without going in ourselves.
Yes.
Oh, fine idea.
Ingenious device.
Okay. Then, anything else you guys wish to discuss before making ready for your sojourn to the park?
Ms. Dumere, do we learn anything new from your friend? Anything good?
No, I don't think there's anything particularly exciting for you, other than I've got a slightly bizarre social appointment later.
All right. So standard Tuesday, then, Ms. Dumere?
Absolutely. Well, as a celebrity, one does get the most unusual experiences.
Were there men mentioned without a wife?
Who knows? You land creatures. Not of interest to me. Well, I'm a busy career lady.
Indeed.
So anything else you wish to do before heading to the park?
I think that covers it, maybe.
There is a cold iron dagger for stitches, right?
I would think so.
Okay. He grabs that and makes it disappear.
Okay.
Golag will grab a sword, I suppose.
Okay.
Some such. Yeah, everyone, don't forget your defensive weaponry. We don't know what we'll encounter there. We're hoping to encounter something. Frankly, both that seems to be our theme, both in the park and subsequently at the mission. We're hoping to spring the trap. Let's go and be ready for anything.
Stitches is good at casting spells and throwing knives. That's what I'm good at.
Very good. I hope to see you in your full repose, Stitches. And we load up in the full team in the business vehicle.
Okay.
I give it a little polish to the sign, to the reading on the side.
Yep. Nice. It's like the I got laundry delivery service advertising. So you fire this thing up, get your goggles on, and then you head off to the park. It's an uneventful trip, and you can park yourselves outside, elsewhere in Paridar Common. How do you intend to explain the vehicle's presence after the park closes? Or do you want to park outside of the actual Paridar Commons, make your way in, and then make your way into into Eckert Green?
It's a good point, since we are aware that the park
maybe
closes.
Not draw more attention than we need. Maybe park outside.
Yeah. And whether we want to be surreptitious about this, or whether we want to attempt an official approach on being in the park after dark. Do we want to hide out there, or do we approach it like we have business there? This is important. We are gently breaking it to the constabulary that we are doing your job. So pipe down.
So, who locks the park? Is it the?
It's a constabulary, right?
Yep, the Paridar Constabulary.
So we can try to. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just think we could just sneak in. I see no problem there.
Okay. Sneak rather than bluster is the yeah. I mean, those are our two choices I can think of. So sure.
I could wait till it closes and pretend to be just a puppet and unlock it from the inside for you.
Do you have thievery?
That's true.
Do I? No, I don't. I can't pick a lock, but
Okay.
maybe if they just put a bar down, I could lift it.
I think we could pick a lock. That wouldn't stop us.
Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
So
Yes,
let's do this then, guys. You will certainly arrive before the park closes. How does everyone wish to make their way in? Is everyone going to sneak their way in, wait till it's locked, and then what I'm thinking is I'm just going to get a skill checks from each of you. If you're sneaking in, it'll be stealth. If you're trying to climb over the gate, it'll be... Or rather, if you're trying to pick the lock, it'll be thievery. If you're trying to sneak over the... climb over the gate, it'll be an athletics check. You could do as...
Golak wants to climb.
We'll find a nice little secluded spot and just pretend to be a doll.
Okay.
Yeah, if anyone goes for climbing, Golag just shakes his head and no.
Yeah.
No.
I just got this suit.
Right. No.
I think, there's potential that myself and Igor will be looking for some sort of gate opening.
Okay.
Couldn't we just get in? So you could get in before it
yeah.
closes and just
But I think they
stay inside?
And that would be the stealth check then.
Yeah, they scan it.
That's what I'll do. I will go in.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying there's a good
Look.
chance he'll fail that.
Yeah, so I would sneak in and just let you in. Maybe I could do that.
I'll try it. Yeah, I'll try it.
I think that's a good idea. Maybe that's best. That the sneakiest among us, that is also able to get the gate open. You know, if we have someone of such skills, then we do that rather than all of us try to. I don't know how. You know, I mean, I'm not bad on sneaking, but I mean, if we could avoid it, it would be best.
Yep.
I prefer the term less conspicuous than sneak, please.
That would be fine.
So
Point taken.
let's. So it sounds like is it that Basil and Ms. Dumer are hiding inside, and then your intent is to pick the lock and then let the others in afterwards, and Stitches will be hiding with you.
Yes.
Okay. So then, Ms. Dumer and Basil, would you kindly give us a stealth check, please? Nat 20 from Basil. Holy shit. Yep, you're both good. And then I'm not going to make you make a roll, Stitches, I think. Oh, well, you know what I'm going to make you make is a roll for stealth, please, because if you are a toy and they're clearing out, I want to see if a kid's going to pick you up.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Unattended toys tend to find new homes, so...
Where did Stitches go?
To be
Okay,
fair,
so that's off
better
by
than
one. Would you like to spend a point of a hero point, rather?
To roll it again? Yes.
Okay, go right ahead. There you go, no
sticky-
problem.
There you go.
There's a kid, you can hear a kid's being dragged off. No, mommy! And it's like, come on, we gotta go. We don't know where that thing's been. Then, so you successfully keep everyone, you are not spotted when the park closes off. Then, Basil, would you kindly give us a thievery check? I think you're the one with it. There's only a 14 for this.
Okay, so let's try. Yeah.
Just barely.
efficiency.
You're like, no problem. And you see a little bit of sweat forming on his brow. Oh, shit, I really may have tucked it. Oh, okay, good. Whew. So then, Dr. Ursprung and Golag, it is easier to hide in the bigger park, so I'll let you each give us a stealth check at 14 as well, instead of the 18. -1.
Wow.
Dr. Ursprung walks up and punches a cop.
So he's hiding behind a lamppost,
Yeah.
and he's twice the size of the lamppost, thinking the policeman can't see him.
You can spend a hero point of that if you like.
I think I will.
If I can't see you, you can't see me.
Yep. There you go. No problem. And then Golag? No problem at all. All right. So our heroes or our illuminators all meet up in Paridar Common. And then Basil, do you relock the lock behind you? Or you leave it open?
No, because maybe we have to get out very, very quickly.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the first time I've seen a negative score in Pathfinder 2. Yeah. So it's pretty great.
Did warn you.
See Stitches pulling off a piece of like candy from him, like a kid left on him, and throwing it off.
God damn it. All right, so then, guys, as we discussed before, the pond itself is quite big, and it is a natural sort of phenomenon. We're talking a couple, American football field size green in here. What's the strategy here? You can still see that slightly off-kilter statue of Eckert, Elwood Eckert, but there is a kind of haze or fog that hangs over the surface of Poverty Pond.
I would try to look at the trees around us if I see those birds.
Okay. Would you give us a perception check, please?
Yes. I will try. And I think I will spend a hero point to roll that. But yeah.
Nice. Okay, let me tell you whether you do or you do not. Here we go. As far as you can tell, there's no birds in here. In fact, there's no sound whatsoever.
Okay.
That's
The
good for
birds seem
Stitches.
gone.
Oh, sorry, what was that, guys?
That's good for Stitches.
Yeah, most definitely.
He is definitely staying in the shadow of the largest person.
Okay. So, how do you guys wish to approach this? What I will tell you, Basil, is while you were seeking for those birds, what you do hear is a splash in the water.
Oh. Something is swimming in the water.
I think we've got, hold on, I believe we've got some more creepy music here. John would feel robbed if we didn't have anxiety-inducing music.
I do love the sound effects. That's pretty good.
Okay. Then, what do you guys wish to do?
So, if we wish to lure out such a creature, who out of us would be most hated? Because it seems to be, you were saying, Golag driven by hatred rather than an easy target.
I mean that I could say me from a aspect of status and class, but would a creature be driven by such a thing? I mean, I'm not sure that's the best. I don't know.
Well, doesn't it seem it's the other end of the class spectrum that?
Yeah,
gone?
I think we agree that someone would put a rope around me and just secure me with a rope, and then I would
That's when I
sleep.
thought it was a sort of hunger type thing. I mean, you can still try it, certainly.
Yeah, so it still has this mental capabilities to seduce at least one of us. So maybe it's just, why not stick to the old plan? Was it a bad plan?
What was the old plan?
The old plan was to get a rope and secure Basil with a rope, and then let him go close to the pond and
Takes the bait
All right.
whilst we hide somewhere.
Very good.
I think Sally mentioned something about a mousetrap. So,
That's a variation of fly fishing, rather.
So, what are you guys doing?
Well, let's prepare that away from the pond, obviously, so it's not obvious if something is watching.
Now, who has dark vision and who has low light and who has neither?
Let's see.
Okay, Stitches has dark vision.
I have
Goldlight
dark
has dark
vision.
vision. Sally has dark vision.
yeah, I have dark vision as well.
Okay.
goes with having.
It's usually a basis of employment for the shadow illuminations.
I see on here you've got some typing, and yes, you can see the dark as well.
Yes, I have no eyes. I've got buttons, but I can see in the dark.
Nice.
So I've only got low light.
Okay, so then Dr. Earthsprung will require a... well, actually, I think with the moonlight coming down, you'll be able to see okay. So, you guys secure a rope. How long is the rope that you're tying to Basil?
I mean...
They come in 50-foot lengths?
50
I mean, I would probably need that to stay out of sight, depending on the terrain here. Unless
like it's pretty wide open going down to the water.
Guess we'd be trying to use those. I was just going to say, I guess we'd be trying to use those bushes where the sort of kelpie was. I don't know how far that was from the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And even the obelisk, even the statue, for at least not all of us, but someone, if they want to be closer, that's a little bit sneaky, could be in that position. At least one is a possibility. 50 feet. How about 50 feet? I think that seems a 50 feet rope. And then maybe the fast reaction of us would be at the statue, perhaps, which might give a little closer. Not sure, but maybe that's a little bit closer.
Okay.
And the rest of us in the bushes.
Is it like 3 ropes that you're kind of like going to tie together and then have it around his waist and keep yourself about 120 feet back or so?
If that's required, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just wonder that much as I don't like going in a pond, particularly a mucky thing like that, I might be the better person to be bait. Given that attempts to drown me are probably not going to be very successful.
I was going to say, you might be the better person to rescue him if it doesn't go to plan, would be my...
Oh, fair enough.
My counterpoint.
So perhaps Ms. Demir at the statue. I'm presuming that's closer. If the statue's closer, maybe putting you, the person sneaking in the shadows of the statue, ready to leap on the situation at the first sign of trouble. The rest of us in the bushes, and Basil at the end of the rope, as it were.
Okay. So everyone has taken their hiding place in the river, or in the bushes. I've thrown you all in. Basil, you are down near. Tell me what you're doing with this rope tied around your waist.
I think actually, for strange reasons, I would go to some kind of nursing rhyme that I'm repeating, because maybe I don't really know why he would do that, but it seems fitting, like to maybe give the false impression of a child or something like that.
So you're sort of faking, you're doing your best child impression as you can, and then you're pacing back and forth along this sort of reed-filled, edge of the water.
Yeah.
And you hear...
I think I maybe could throw in his little stones or something. Just...
Yep. Okay. And then you think you hear, Basil, what's going on from your perception roll from before? Something took flight not far away.
Huh.
And you hear, when you look back to toss another stone, you maybe look over, to see where your allies are concealed, and then look away pretty quickly so you don't give them away. And when you're about to toss a stone out in the water once again, you see that about 60 feet out from shore, there is a Yasaki with its head up out of the water to about here, and with captivating eyes. Would you give us a will save, please?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh!
Yeah.
Whoosh. That's a critical fail. You want to spend a hero point? Reroll?
You gonna lean into that or re-roll it?
Yeah, no, I think I would just re-roll it and just try to concentrate again.
Focus, man. Focus, mouse. Focus.
That's so close.
It's better.
Much better, yeah.
That's okay. I mean, I would give in, but I would not be so critically in that I cut the rope or something.
Or run into the pond.
What you guys notice, none of you guys heard any the sound of any birds, but what you do notice is that Basil has begun walking into the water.
That part of the plan.
And at a good stride, he's down to about. I mean, it does not take long for him to suddenly be at his, his waist. Basil, you don't know why, but like this person in the water, this is the link to the Whisker Network. This is the person who can give you answers to everything you needed. So you're just eagerly getting down in and splashing towards the splashing towards it.
Yeah, perhaps Stitches and I whisper at the same time. Wait, was that the plan? For Basil to go swimming?
So let's do this, guys. I think perception is what we're using for initiative. So everyone go ahead and click on your token and then click on... well, actually, hold on. I'll let you guys, those of you who are hiding, you can use stealth for initiative if you'd like.
Same either way for me.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mine sucks more.
All right, let me find...
Golag moves quite quick for someone who likes his pies so much.
The chance of getting to the crux of it has him on his orc toes.
Oh, do we have anyone who did not click on their token?
I did click on it, but it didn't come across.
Oh, here we go. I got you in there. You can just fill it in now.
Yep.
Okay, and then 1, 2, and then Basil, you likewise 2.
Okay.
Fortunately, you're very quick.
That's not good. Yeah.
All right, and I need to add this thing in here as well. Let's see. Because I mean, clearly it's a rat folk or a Yasaki that you're dealing with, right? So we'll just use a Yasaki for the. I mean, this is clearly gonna be an RP encounter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I should call. I think it is a female, and I should call her Irene. And that would be fitting.
Come on, Irene.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. I'll be in the cold ground before I resist a Dexy's Midnight Runners reference.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right. So I think, Basil, you have the greater dex, so you are up first. What are you doing? I guess you're walking into the water. That's what you're doing.
But I still think I would not run into the water just because it would not suitable to be rushing to that. Just live the moment out, so stride, but with.
So it's basically once you've actually left your, you're actually paddling in the water. That's when you suddenly realize, like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I would swim back.
So you've got 2. Why don't you give us an athletics check?
Yeah, that's my specialty. Yeah.
Oh! You want to spend? That's actually drowning roll. A roll. So you want to spend a hero point?
Yeah. I think maybe I would tuck the rope just to make sure that everyone.
Okay, so at least you're keeping above water right now. So
I'm drowning.
Splashing and beginning to sort of splash back towards shore. Golag, you're up next. What are you doing? You're about 120 feet away from him. He's gone into the water. You're about 140 feet away from him.
Can I see? Can I see anything else in the water?
You could spend an action to seek. Give us a perception check.
Yeah, because let's see. Let's see.
So that's just a perception roll.
My thought was I'm wanting to use the command spell.
You need to see a target in order to do that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Then I will.
I do like the idea of you running around screaming up to the skies, "The power of the heavenly host compels you."
Indeed. A perception check then?
Yes, please. So if you can see where 22. is good enough. You can see that there is, you look out, and there is a being that seems to be made of pure shadow. But with the reflection of the moonlight off of the surface of this thing there, and it's looking directly at Basil, and it's only about like this much above the water.
And if I can point or, do something like,
Yep, so that's a second action. That's to point out to everyone else. There it is. They get to use your bonus. Okay. Then you one more action. What do you want to do?
Let's see, and I don't. Okay, that is not the command. Surely takes more than that. Let me check. Oh wait, no wait. No, it's trash. Don't know if I. What do I have? It's a single action stand by.
You could move.
Oh yeah, I will. I will. Oh, it's between that and.
You could also try and tug Basil.
And I'm farther than 30 feet.
Well, but you get that rope going down to where you could. Yeah, okay. So give us a athletics check, please.
Okay. Oh, it's poor. I will re-roll.
Do you want to point that? Okay. You're 5 minutes off from getting another one, so.
Yeah,
good enough. Okay, so Basil, you're sort of starting to be pulled back to shore as well, too. You are keeping yourself above water. Then it is this thing's turn. Now, I want you guys to brace yourself for a shock here. What is in the water is neither a Yasaki, who has a connection to the Whisker Network, or a what do you call it? Creature made of living shadow. It is.
These shadow things get everywhere in Paridar.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's like dogs in every other one of my campaigns. I just use them in everything.
Owlbears.
Owlbears, too. That was imposed by Jeff, though. All right. That is what is truly in the water. You suddenly realize, and this thing surges forward. It is easily able to reach you with one action. And then it is going to, those jaws, as they open, it looks like a horse's maw on you, Basil. But as it opens, it stretches much wider in an unnatural way, and then kind of tries to snap around you. What is your AC?
Only 18.
Only 18. Unfortunately, you're also in water, so I think you're flat-footed. So it's 16 right now. But don't worry, I would need to get a 3 or higher to get you. So, this is going to be...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I don't roll D4s, I roll D20s. So this might be painful. All right, I got a total of 27, so that's a crit. This thing's
Weren't you supposed to pull me before I got into the water?
I rolled terrible for damage, though. You take 20 points of damage.
Yeah, that's really terrible.
Yeah. The alternative, I think, is much better. Now, bear with me 1 second. I need to quickly refresh my memory on this. I've got my bestiary. Okay, here we go. Also, a very, very well laid out book. Very easy to find what you're looking for in the bestiary.
Under the chapter, particular.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. Okay. Then, what is your fortitude save, Basil?
5 plus 5, so 15
+5?
is my...
Okay, so it automatically grabs you, which means then it can disappear beneath the water and begins dragging you under. So you are now underneath the water, and you can see, but you don't know where the hell you are. All the rest of you have seen this happen. Dr. Ersprung, you're up next. What are you doing?
Well, if I see that, then I should just run towards the water as fast as possible.
Okay. So
Why does no one tug me out? I'm sorry.
You're in his mouth now.
we see bubbles angrily coming up from the pond.
The leg's pulling in.
I think if we pulled you out now, you'd be in pieces if it's in his mouth.
So, Dr. Earthsprung, let's see here. Each action you spend moving, you move up to your movement, which I think is like 25.
Yeah, how far away is it?
It's 120 to the shore.
Okay, so I will run for 2 actions, and I'll get Igor to try and resist on the rope.
To pull on the rope? Oh, nice.
One
Okay.
action to sort of fight it.
Yep. So why don't you give us an athletics check from Igor, please? DC is going to be
first.
21.
I shall roll that. That's still rubbish.
So what you're seeing is this rope is like going through his iron hands. Then it is, let's see here. Igor technically has 2 actions because you gave him 2. If he wants to spend another one, this kind of thing, like trying to break a grab, counts as an attack, so he will get -5 on it, but he could try again if he likes.
Say another game. That's why there's D20, 20s on a D20.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well try, but I think it's very unlikely, but we'll give it a try.
Okay. There you go! Oh, but -5. Fuck.
Yeah.
18.
It's 18.
Yeah,
What
so
did he need? 20. Yeah.
It's slowing down a little bit, but smoke is coming from this rope as it's being dragged away. And then, what is your movement, Dr. Sprung?
Yeah, I was just trying to find it.
I think it's on the first page in the top left above your attacks.
It's only 20.
Okay, so you're 40 feet lumbering towards the water. Sally, what are you doing?
Right. I think, Basil, you're going to have to take a chance on me. So we will.
That one's for you, Darren. Shakes his head. Oh, that's great.
So I'm going to dive in and go straight for this critter.
How fast are you on land?
40 feet.
How much?
40 feet.
40 feet. So it would take you 120 feet. All 3 actions would get you right to the shore. Because you're 120 feet away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sally was intending to be closer,
by-
right? If it was possible.
That really, if you're going to be hidden, there really wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Then that will be my sprint to the water.
Case you race to the edge. Stitches, what are you doing?
Well, this didn't go well. I'm going to do 2 action move up 50 feet.
That's really should be a t-shirt for the channel.
And then I'm going to try and do a recall knowledge on this thing.
Okay. What is it you're specifically? Is there a class ability you're trying to do?
No, recall knowledge is just basically what I might know about this thing.
If anything that you've gathered thus far, you already know. There's no new information that you've gained from this. You don't need to spend your action doing this, but this isn't like Pathfinder 1 where you're going to be able to learn its vulnerabilities or whatever else. That shit you got to do beforehand.
Okay.
There's no new information you've gained from this encounter that you didn't know before, so there's no new rolls you get to do.
Then I'll get another 25 closer.
Okay. So how close are you right now?
I moved up 75 feet.
Okay, so you're 75 feet away. Basil, good news. You're no longer ensorcelled.
Yeah. So I think I would try to break free. I mean,
Okay. Then why don't you give us a athletics check, please? 21 is the difficulty.
yeah. So there's only the chance that I roll a natural 20 to get out.
Come on.
But why not?
Why not?
I mean,
but you remember, you can use acrobatics if that's better.
oh yeah. Oh, so I'm sorry. I would use.
Sorry, I just said athletics. I think because I thought everyone's was better. No, you can use. So go ahead and roll an acrobatics then. Or
14. Yeah. So I have
you
no
do
hero
get
points left.
You do get a hero point. It's 2:00 my time, so everyone gets a hero point.
Yeah. So I will immediately use that and try again.
There you go. Nice. So one action, you've got yourself free. You are currently 35 feet under the water.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah. Couldn't I just tug along on the rope? I mean, swimming would
At
be
this point, I think that what I'll say is that you're going to automatically, like as a reaction, Igor is going to yank you up 20 feet. So you really only need to swim. We haven't actually had to look up the rules for swimming yet. Let's see here.
Yeah. Because if I always have to make athletics checks, that would be. I would just keep on drowning.
Yeah.
Rats don't do good in water.
Okay. All right, and here we go. Let's see here. Swimming, here we go. So it's an athletics check against... I guess a difficulty I set for the wall. Oh no, it's arbitrary. It's set to training level, and then on a success, you move through at 5 feet plus 5 feet per 20 feet of your land speed. So you're currently 15 feet under, and it's each action to do this. So give us an Let's see here, and this water fortunately is quite still, so the difficulty is gonna be 10.
10. Okay, so I will try.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. And you critical success. That's 10 feet plus 5 feet per 20 feet in your land speed, so you're up on the surface. One more action. What are you doing?
Yeah, I will try just to swim to the land. I don't know how fast I will go.
Same thing. Athletics check once again.
Yeah,
again, 15 feet. So you're 5 feet away from shore right now. Yeah. From where you are. All right, then Golag. You can see he is up and above the water.
Let's see. I don't have anything that's in... Oh, I do. Is the creature within 120 feet of me?
You can't see it. It's under the water.
Oh, I can't... got it. I'm going to run. I think, because it looks like to me, I can see Basil making this progress, right?
Yep,
I can tell that. Then I need to get in range. I need more. I need to get closer. So he's taking off.
How close are you now?
I think I'm back at the hiding place, so I'm a ways.
Oh shit! Okay, so yeah, that's right. You didn't move last turn. All right, so you race. Let's just check. Is there a? Yeah, there's no running action with athletics. Just double checking here. You just kind of. You could jump, I guess.
Hopping orc?
Yeah, Mario it over there.
Is that allowed?
No.
You need magic.
In a word.
All right, so then 3, and what's your speed? 25?
That's a great question. Where did you... Oh, there it is. I got it. I'm on it. 25 feet. It is
25 feet. So you're 75. You're neck and neck with Stitches, I believe, right now. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, great. Then it is this thing's turn. So something moves underneath the water. And I'm going to make an attack on something here. Basil, you can see right in front of you, the mouth comes up passing in that 5-foot square near where you are. The rope snaps. And then it is back beneath the water once again. Dr. Earthsprung, what are you doing?
So I've got a long way to go. So Igor obviously realizes the rope is...
yeah, you move 40. You're 80 feet away right now.
Yeah. So Igor feels that the rope just goes...
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 80 away. So I could go 60 this turn. Yeah, and the creature's still underwater? It went straight back under,
yes,
did
it snapped the rope and then went underwater again.
Yeah, so I'll just run down again. Okay. So I'll go 60 foot.
So you are 60 feet away. Then Ms. Dumer.
I will...
You're right at the edge.
I will dive straight in after her.
Okay. You are in the water. Would you give us a... you don't need to seek for this, but give us a perception check. I was going to see if you can see this underwater. It's not hiding or anything. It's just that the water is so cloudy. Nat 20. You see precisely where this is, and I'm actually going to... The critical effect will be that you position yourself so this thing is flat-footed to you. So that's one action. You have 2 more. It's about... it's within like 20 feet of you.
I will need to move closer, and then I'm going to slash it with my fist.
Your gauntlet? Okay, so you're 10 feet away, I guess?
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll.
Now, is that the first one, or it's going to be third?
First one, because you haven't made an attack.
First one. I
The
haven't made an
penalties
attack.
come in, once you start making attacks or doing things that count as attacks, like athletics, some athletics checks. That is a solid hit. Nicely done. Whack. You have that
because
thing.
I can slash underwater, so as well.
Boom. So you hit this thing, and it turns towards you, and its red eyes. Somehow, this horse thing is moving like as if it was the most maneuverable fish you could imagine. It has no difficulty making its way around in here. Stitches, what are you doing?
See Basil nearly ashore, and then Sally's dived in, right?
Yep, Sally's beneath the surface of the water.
He's going to give Basil a thoughtful gift. He's going to spend an action to pull out a potion
Okay.
and teleport it into his hands with that
Oh,
spell.
cool.
So he can just down it next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my
So
action for the
that's
turn.
you still have one more action, don't you?
Oh, then I'm going to move 25 feet closer.
Okay, so you wobble and a little closer. This potion appears in your hand. Then it is Basil's turn. What are you doing, Basil?
Yeah, I think I would just move out of the water. I think
Okay.
it's only 5 feet within the water, so I don't know how this.
What I'm going to do is see how much. We'll make the athletics check for swimming just to see how far you can get onto land.
Okay.
Assuming you want to get onto land.
Yes.
Okay. 10. So that is 10 feet. So you're 5 feet onto shore. As what first action? 2 more actions.
Yeah. So just to make sure, I would just go another 25 feet on land and then drink this potion.
Sounds like a prudent move. Go ahead. And what's the potion heal? 1d8. There you go. Nice.
1d8. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's good. Oh yeah. That's,
Are you
yeah, well,
kidding me?
It's the thought that counts, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. All right, Golag. Basil is out of the water.
I've got more healing coming. Just stay still.
And can I see the creature at this point?
You
at
cannot.
This time?
Unfortunately, because of the way the moon is hitting the surface, it's just blackened water. You can see there's some kind of disturbance underneath.
And would trying to see it help at this point, or probably not? It's just underneath.
No,
right?
I think because of it's dark and the moon, like it's just if you're once you're underwater, you'll be able to see, but like with the light reflecting back from the moon above, it is kind of impossible to see beneath the surface.
Can I hold action? We haven't done that in a
And
while.
I think
Is
that's a
that thing?
bullshit call. I don't know. She's always on your guy's side. Sorry, what did you say? She was barking.
Hold action, is that a thing?
Spend 2 actions to bank 1.
Interesting. To bank 1.
So most spells you can't bank that way, but I think one of your focus spells is only a single action, isn't it?
It is. Yes, that would be. Sure, let's do it. I will hold action for Shroud of Night.
Okay, which means you still have 1 more action. I think you are 75 feet towards the shore, so you're 45 feet away from the actual shore.
I'm not sure I want to get closer now. I want to get closer when Basil was like, when Basil was at risk, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's a chance it's going to come to us, so I'm not sure I want to
Well, Ms.
go.
Dumere did dive beneath the surface. She's also under there somewhere.
That's true. I will, sure. We'll go closer.
Okay.
We'll go 25 feet closer.
Begrudgingly step
Yeah,
closer.
begrudgingly, yeah. Well, as Basil, passes me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Basil is only 40 feet away from the edge right now.
Okay,
So you actually
gotcha.
are, yeah.
I passed him, yeah.
You got 5 feet out, and then you move 30 feet away, 30 feet from the edge.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we're 5 feet away. So, right, we
Yeah.
just kind of were real close right there.
Basil takes a sip of this healing potion, and then because of the minimal effect, it's like,
It works for me.
shit. All right.
bad batch.
Then it is
Pocket-sized potion.
this thing's turn. It didn't like getting hit by Sally. So it turns towards you, spends 1 action, and it moves as fast as the fastest shark you've seen. And its jaw, once again, stretches and is filled with these awful hooked dagger-like teeth. What's your AC right now, Sally?
21.
21. Okay, so I need an 8 to hit you.
That's not good.
I rolled a 9, so no crit, thankfully, but chomps down on you. That is 13 points of damage. And then it actually did not. It automatically gets to try and drag you down. It did not. It's not strong enough. You're able to. Well, what's your fortitude bonus?
My fortitude. All right. Where's he gone?
I'm assuming it's higher because the monks usually have pretty good saves.
E9.
9, great. So that means it's a 19. I actually just barely failed. So it's struggling with you under the water, thrashing back and forth, trying to pull you under. Its jaws locked around you, but you're managing to, it's not used to dealing with a creature that is, born in and of the water. Dr. Ersprung, what are you doing?
I'm going to run over to Basil and try and administer his wounds and clear him of water.
Is this battle medicine?
Yeah, battle medicine.
Okay. And you going against a 20, or are you going to take the 15?
Yeah, I'm just because I can only do it once. So no, I'm going to go for a 20.
Here we go.
So I'm going to roll for it.
Come on, big money.
Money. You mean?
Nice. 2d8 plus 10.
Yep.
Beautiful. I believe 1 to move, 1 to administer
20.
first aid. Is first aid 1 or 2?
It's one action for battle medicine.
Yeah, one action for battle medicine. You still have one more action. You want to give Igor 2?
Yeah, I'm just going to get him to move in closer.
What's Igor's move?
Yeah, 25. So
25, awesome. So he's 70 away from the shore right now. Okay. Then it is Ms. Dumer. What are you doing?
I am going to try and get out of the water as swiftly as possible.
Go ahead. So it's either athletics or acrobatics against a 21.
I'll do acrobatics. Ooh, I think I'll do that one again.
You hero point that? Yeah. Oh, no. Okay.
But why does she need to get out of the grip if it hasn't gripped her?
No, it's gripped her but wasn't able to pull her.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
What it tried to do with last action is to drag her down underneath like it did with you.
I see. Yeah.
Then I guess I've got an action left.
You have 2 more actions left.
Right.
So because I'm assuming you spent a hero point for that reroll.
Yep.
Okay, so you still have 2 more actions. You could try again, but I think it counts. Escaping counts as an attack.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, so it takes a -5 for each additional effort.
So I'm going to be. I need to. This is a second attack then when I smack it.
Yes. Okay, and so that's not going to be good enough. You could spend a hero point and re-roll that if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you're trying to get in. There's just not a good angle. You have 1 more action. What would you like to do?
I will do my water deflection.
Okay.
Hydraulic deflection.
Okay, so you form a shield against this thing, trying to. It's it's ready to try and defend against this thing should it release you and attack again. Stitches, what are you doing?
Well, now that Basil isn't healed, Stitches looks and just hightails it to the water edge. He moves 50 feet forward.
Okay.
And
One more
his last
action.
action, he's going to try and locate Sally beneath the waves.
Again, it's impossible to see unless you're putting yourself beneath the surface.
Okay, I'll stick my head under the water and look.
You're going to have to move into the water. Like, it.
Then I won't have an action. Yeah, I'll cast a shield spell just in case.
Okay. Isn't shield a reaction spell? Oh, no, yeah, it creates that
it's
thing.
one action,
So what does
yeah.
your shield look like?
Well, he casts a spell, and it's like his chest starts to glow as a little white light comes out and just forms a little glyph image in front of him.
Okay. So there's a little glyph in front of him. Basil, you're up next. What are you doing?
This is interesting. I don't know what to do right now because everything has gone wrong now. Should I get into
the plan was have Basil go down. She succeeded. Have him pulled up by the rope. That's a C plus on that plan. And then Sally go in to rescue him. So you're good so far.
Check.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who's going to rescue Sally now? Should he really?
I feel like we may have missed an agenda item on our plan.
Yeah.
So I think with newfound courage, I think I will pull out my sword and move closer to the edge of the water.
Okay. So you're standing kind of next to where Sitches is?
Yeah, and try to just make a lot of noise in order to attract this beast.
Okay. So you're splishing away in the water. All right. Golag, you're next. What are you doing?
Still can't see it, right?
You can see there's something. Water is coming up as a bit of a disturbance about 20 feet away from shore, but it's so dark you can't see beneath the surface unless you go under it.
I will.
I just bought this suit.
Exactly. He'll just for kicks, because he doesn't. He's limited if he can't see it, so he's going to stretch out with his hand and hit it with light, with his cantrip, with his light cantrip, and just see what happens.
Wait, his hand with light?
Well, he shoots out light from his hand.
Okay, yep,
with
got
his
it.
cantrip.
Okay, so maybe it's like a ring you cast it on or something.
Right. So he's trying to illuminate the situation to improve sight.
If you plunge your hand under the water, that may actually be of more assistance.
Yeah, he'll.
Because think of it like what I'm interpreting is think of it like if any of you guys have gone canoeing or whatever else at night, like the reflection of the surface is just impossible to see shit beneath it. But if you had a light under there, that might illuminate it more.
So then, if let's see, that's 2 actions. So he'll use his third action to run the last 25 feet because he was 25 feet away. So
okay. So you're sort of shining out. All right. So
but he runs up to the edge.
Okay. So you're at the edge with Basil and with Stitches. Stitches has got a illuminated shield in front of him. Basil's batting the water, and you've got light now that you're shining out across the surface.
Yeah.
This thing. All right. So first, it will chomp down on you once again. Actually, I think you can do auto damage. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. A healthy person doesn't make that sound, incidentally. All right, so it makes a on you. That is a 21. Does that hit you?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, hang on. Wait a minute.
You're
grabbed, so you're flat-footed, so you're -2.
I'm not flat-footed.
Well, no, you're grabbed, so you're flat-footed.
Oh, I'm grabbed. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Well, I would normally be armor class 22.
Okay, so it's 20, so that's a hit. You take another 14 points of damage.
Oof.
And then it's going to try and drag you once again. That fails. And its final attempt at -10. Nope. So it's fighting with you to try and drag you down somewhere. And kind of chomping on you as it does. Dr. Earthsprung, what are you doing?
I'm just going to send Igor running straight into the pond.
Okay.
At full pelt. I don't know how he's going to react when he goes underwater, but he's going to find out.
Yeah, it's only one way. You're an experimental scientist, so. So how far into the water can Igor get at the end of...
So he ran 50 last turn, so he'll be just in the water, I guess, because he'll be doing 3 actions.
75.
So
oh, yeah, she's 5 feet out. So actually, Igor can see this now. About 15 feet away from him, Sally is like struggling and fighting against this thing as this giant horse has this like awful teeth around it and is thrashing back and forth trying to drag her down. So that would have been 2 actions you gave him. You still have 1 action yourself.
Yeah, and again, I'll just get to the edge of the water myself because I was back where Basil was.
So you're all at the edge of the water. Ms. Dumer, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and get back out again.
Okay, come on. Acrobatics. We go. Can you hero point that?
Yeah, although may need that for something else. Oh, 24.
You're out. Nice. You get yourself free. Beautiful. You have 2 more actions. What would you like to do?
So I'm out of the water, or I'm out?
No, you're free of its jaws right now. You are still about 20 feet under.
I'm going to move as fast as I can to get to the shore.
So you turn, and you can see there's actually a light above the surface, and you, so a lot of you are sort of at the edge of the water, and you see Sally burst up from the water. You still have one more action, Sally.
And I will swim as fast as I can to get to the shore.
Oh, I'm picturing you went at an angle. You're not like the others where you have to make an athletics check. You've got a swim speed. So you could have easily moved directly up from where you are up onto the shore and stand next to them and still have one more action.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How far is it away, this critter? Now?
20 feet beneath the surface.
Right. So I can't reach it. So I will give a deep breath and step a few yards away from the edge of the water.
It's a Sally.
That is one fierce little critter.
Okay. Stitches, what are you doing?
He looks at Sally and he says, I'll make it easier to fight it. And he'll touch his glyph. This is just narratively speaking, and then kind of like shove it towards her with a shield spell and cast Shield Other on her. Says, stay within 30 feet and I'll share the pain.
Nice.
And then he'll concentrate on his shield so his glyph pops back up again.
Okay. There we go. So you've got... that's pretty cool. So Stitches will share life with you. Basil, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna spend 2 actions to wait for the creature to appear to stab it if I can.
Nice.
Just for revenge.
And you have one more action left.
Wait. Yeah. I just devise a strategy maybe to where to put the point to get. So the thing is that allows to do the precise damage. Otherwise, I couldn't do. But
oh, I see. I'm just trying to decide if. Do you know if you need to see the target in order to do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean.
You don't what. You could, for instance, also draw your gun if you wanted to have a ranged option. Remember, the last time you saw it, it surfaced away from the water.
Yeah, I see, but I think I want to step it.
Yeah, okay, so you're getting yourself ready? Golag, you're up next. What are you doing?
With my first action, I'm going to stick my glowing hand under the water.
Okay.
To see if I can see it.
Yeah, so you move down and you stick your hand under the water, and then give us a seek action. Now I will let you try and spot it.
Okay. All right.
Can I hero point that?
Yep.
Okay. That one. Oh God, you go blind.
Yeah. I mean, it's underwater. That's actually not crazy.
No. So that is, you're having difficulty making out forms underneath there. Mm-hmm. Where the hell is this thing? You think you may spot it, but you can't make out any particulars. There's some form that's about 20 feet away from the side, actually from where you are, probably about 17 feet. And it
17 feet from me?
That's it. Is that it from you, or you have one more action?
I got one more.
Yeah.
So it's within 30 feet.
It's within 30 feet, yeah. What do you want to do?
I'll try Shroud of Night, one of my one-action specialties.
Go ahead. So sweeping gesture, you veil it, its eyes blanketed in darkness. Okay, so I get a will save. I have a huge will save here, but let's see. Nat 20. Unfortunately, this thing is, Quicksilver and Shadow, so the spell just does not manifest on it.
Golag yells out, "He can't see us now!" As I do my.
Nice. Then it's this thing's turn. It's gonna move forward. Golag, what's your AC?
Horrible. Is that really? 16. 16.
All right. So Golag, that is a 20. I got a critical on you, unfortunately. 7, 14, 28 points of damage. What is your fortitude bonus?
Fortitude. Where would I find that?
On the front page, right in the middle. First page, right in the middle, near the top.
6.
Plus. So Golag places his hand under the water, and then he gestures, and there's this, it can't see anymore, and you hear this sloshing of water, and suddenly the face comes up. Go ahead and make your attack roll, Basil.
Oh, yeah.
Golag has brought this thing out.
Yes. Now, let's. I think I have to push this one. I still used the wrong one. No, I have no hero points.
Oh, you have no hero points. Shit. Okay, so you swing at this thing, but what it does is it grabs Golag by the hand, like up on the arm, and then turns and whoosh, he's underneath the water about 30 feet down.
Jeez.
And
So
guys,
got the light on him?
there is light. You can see his ring moving underneath the water. And that's where we will leave our session.
Nice.
With Golag submerged. And we'll see what happens next time. Okay, so.
my.
Then, let's see. I'll move us back to our main page here. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 4 of the. Let's see here. Part 4 of our Ill Tidings at the Poverty Pond. As is always the case, for those, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. I can turn off our creepy music and put on our happy music for now. Let's see here. Yep, there we go. In addition, there's a link down below to something called to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where you're more than welcome to join us. We have channels there dedicated to this game, this campaign, and every other game we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other great channels. Tons of great people over there, and you are more than welcome to join the Dungeon Musings community on over there. There's groups for finding, or channels dedicated to finding a group. There's channels about the charity initiatives that we have. And later today, I'll be announcing our next charity session, too, so that's pretty exciting. In addition, let's see here, what else? There is a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really terrific organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. In addition, there is one small way, I guess, first off, all donations that go through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. In addition, there, as a small way of saying thank you, for every $25 Canadian that you donate, you get one chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle. If you want to see what was awarded last time in our last raffle, that was, you can go over to the Dungeon Musings Discord server and find a link to all of the, or a list on the charity initiatives channel for all the prizes that were given away. And our next raffle will be in December 2022. In addition to the chance to win some prizes in our next raffle, you also have a chance to spend the money that you donate to help affect our next charity session. And our next charity session, as I said, I'm going to announce some information about it later today, but all I can say is that I am jumping on 2005's most popular trend, which is zombies. So we're going to be having a zombie-filled session, and our donors will help us dictate where the setting will take place, who's going to be involved with it, what things will be happening. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I think in contrast to yesterday's very structured session, this one's going to be a lot more wahoo, and hopefully I'll be able to chomp on a bunch more players in that session than I did yesterday. If you do want to see our last charity session, you can head on over to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel, and you can find there was a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game we played yesterday called Stellar Revolt: The History of Victors, and a number of our players here were, one of our players here was participating in that, and that was a shit ton of fun. The last thing I will say, speaking of our players here, is a huge thank you to our stalwart heroes, the stalwart illuminators. So Sean, James, Ingolf, Darren, and John, thank you so much for joining us today. And for Golag, reminding Sally of what angler fish are like. So, for those listening at home, we'll be back in the streets of Paridar and underneath the Poverty Pond in 2 weeks' time. Until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the mysteries that our heroes are uncovering in the streets of Paridar. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.